all bad, man. I mean, just explosions everywhere.
So as you're running over, what are you seeing as far as people coming off the bus?
When I first started coming out here, I got off the phone and me and my mom and my brother were already over there. They were starting to head over there, and that's when I was yelling at them, "No, you guys come back here!" And I tried telling my mom and my brother, "Get back here now before it explodes, and that's gonna get you guys." You know what I mean? And then they started to come back, and when they got about halfway in this field right here, the two officer vehicles showed up, and when they showed up, a fire department showed up right after that, and everybody was still trying to get across the road out of the northbound traffic and across the southbound traffic onto the side of the road because they kept hearing explosions. Well, when the truck started to get put out, the fire did by the fire department, that's when I ran to the side of the road and started helping people. And all I seen was carnage. I mean, it was burn marks and people bloody everywhere, and I mean, everybody was in shock. It was pretty amazing to like see that much havoc all at one time in my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was pretty bad. I mean, it's mentally got me going pretty bad, you know?
What do you think about?
The explosion, to be honest with you, that was the first thing that came to my mind every time I closed my eyes. I blink and I can see that boom, and then hearing the people screaming and bodies being just the chaos, man. It was insane. It was in a V shape, and the bus was right next to it like that. The back was right here, and that's where everybody was coming out of the back.
Were they coming out of windows? Or?
Yeah, everything. They were just the emergency windows opened up first. Okay, the very back emergency window on the passenger or the driver's side opened up, and people were just being launched out of it. I mean, I seen a limp body come out, and then a couple of people come out, and then on the other side, a couple of people came out, and then the flames were popping the windows out, and people were kicking the windows or trying to get the windows out, and they were jumping out of windows, and it was pretty interesting to visually watch, man, because it was so like immense, you know what I mean? Like you can tell that it was shocking to everyone on the bus, and it shocked me just to be in the presence of something like that. You know, just to have, I mean, I would never imagine to see something like that in my lifetime, in real life. I mean, that's movies, Hollywood, theatrics, you know what I mean? Not no real life explosion with people. Yeah, it was bad.
You said people were coming out of the bus on fire.
There was one person I seen, two people I seen that was on fire when they were jumping out of the window. Yeah, and I believe there was a girl with black clothes on, and you can see that her whole backside was all on fire.
You know roughly how old she looked?
No, I mean I don't know how old any of them was really. I mean I wasn't really paying attention to how old they were. I was in shock too. So when I went over to help them, all I realized is, oh, they're bleeding. Let's get some cold water, get some towels, help them out, clean them up a little bit, get them where they don't go into a panic mode is what I was trying not to do, is let them panic. Because, I mean, panicking is what causes more problems.
So you're seeing
Fire was so immense that it was shattering windows and people were kicking them out.
So
I mean, you can tell people
fire
were...
was shattering windows
Yes. Yes, there was probably, what, eight windows on the side of the bus. You couldn't see the front 3 or 4, but you can see all the back 4 windows, emergency, and then the 2 regular windows in the middle. The middle emergency was completely on fire. The 2 next to it were like, the one right next to it was shattering. The next one got kicked out, and an emergency one was being opened constantly by people coming out of it.
So one of the towards the front, there's an emergency window. That one there was fire.
I couldn't even see that one.
Right.
There was so much flame and smoke that you couldn't see the front half of the bus at all from the west side of the freeway at all. Most of them, like when I went out there and they all were in shock, most of them were like, "What just happened?
Yeah.
Really, what just happened?" You know, they all were in so bad a shock. I heard a couple people saying, "Man, we're just on a trip to go," and he didn't say anything after that because I mean, it must have hit him, that the impact, you know. And then when I was standing there was a couple of people talking about how they were standing up, moving from seat to seat, talking to each other, and you know, not expecting anything like this to ever happen, you know. And then I mean, I talked to a couple other people how they were saying like, I'm injured but I can't feel anything. You know, like one guy had a big old gash on his forehead and one on his chin, and they were like, I can't feel it. I mean, the blood's going everywhere, and they're like, I can't feel nothing. I mean, and I'm trying to tell the guy with the gash on his chin, hey man, you need to cover that up because you're bleeding pretty bad. And he's like, what? And then he touches it, and that's when blood's all over his hands, you know.
Did you see this?
First one's laying down. He was one of the first ones that got across and was laying down.
Was he wearing shoes? Do you remember?
I don't remember
Yeah.
any of that.
Do you remember anything he said?
He didn't say nothing.
Yeah,
All I know is he was laying there, just laying there with his eyes trying to, like, yeah, in shock, full on shock. I mean, that guy was in full shock. Just there was a girl too, with black clothes on who had like burns all over her, and you didn't even know it. You wouldn't even know she had burns on her because the way she was stepping side to side in shock and going into like a panic mode. You didn't even know until after she started going, man, I'm hurting, and that's when the fire department or EMTs or whatever it was at the time, the guys who were here to help, they were trying to check her out, and they noticed that she was burnt. All her back was burnt from her neck all down to like the lower part of her buttocks, you know.
Right. And she didn't know. She
didn't know. She was in shock. You know, most of them, their adrenaline was pumping so bad, none of them knew that they were injured.
Mm-hmm.
None of them. I mean, even the people that had blood all over their clothes had no clue that they were injured. You know, with the immense trauma that they had with the impact and then the fire climbing out and all that. I mean, it was so dramatic that the adrenaline, I guess you'd say, was so high it was unreal. Texas. Oh, we're moving to
Sorry,
Texas.
I'll be right back. Hold on.
Where are you going to Texas?
Like they were pouring out, not just one individual person at a time, but there was like 4 or 5 people coming out of those windows. They were pouring out of everywhere, trying to get away from the flame and the smoke and the chaos in that one little area. It was just to talk about it kind of gives me chills.
You think you're going to be all right?
Yeah, I'll be fine. Yeah, I mean, all you have to do is just understand that it happens and you live your life one day at a time, you know? You don't let it get to you too much. I've been through a lot of stuff in my life, so I mean, this is a little worse than anything else I've ever seen or happened, so it's kind of rough, but it'll take time. It's like anything else. It takes time to understand and get over the fact that it happened. You know what I mean? In all reality, like the day it happened, I couldn't believe it. Even after it happened, it still was like, no. And then I just kind of was like, it did. There's nothing you can say or do. It happened.
Were you able to just go to sleep at that night?
No, I didn't sleep the night before. I didn't sleep at all yesterday. I finally got a couple hours of sleep last night, but that's mostly it.
What were you thinking about when you're trying to go to bed?
I couldn't think about anything other than the explosion and how the people sounded when they were coming out of that vehicle. Like I was all the way over here, you know, and you couldn't see or hear anything other than the people and the screams from them in the vehicle and coming out of the vehicle. I mean, even with the traffic that was coming by, you couldn't hear traffic because I just zoned right into it because it was so, I don't know, like I say, captivating. It just grabbed me and just like, what?
You said you couldn't sleep at all Thursday night?
No, not at all.
Or Friday night?
Friday night I did, yeah. I got a little bit of sleep Friday night, last night, you know, but the night before I didn't sleep at all. Every time I closed my eyes, all I seen was boom and people everywhere, man. It was pretty crazy. You know, like right now I'm even getting teared up because of it, you know. It was pretty insane to watch, man. And then to know I have 3 children that are sooner or later going to have to get on a bus and go look at a college or, you know, it kind of makes me want to have to take them myself from now on. You know what I mean? It was pretty unreal.
And this is kind of this question I have is like, if I'm merging and all of a sudden if I'm merging I hit trouble, my first instinct's gonna be pull back and
pull back, and that's what it looked like he was trying to do, is pull back, but that rear trailer launched him.
So, but then how did he end up going straight if the rear trailer is launching him?
If this rear trailer is going following him this way, okay,
right,
and he's going this way too, and then he tries to straighten it out like that, this rear trailer is going to push him.
Even with the front of the cab?
Yeah.
He went cab first.
Yeah, it's going to launch him, so he pulls back to follow that rear trailer, because you could feel your rear trailer in an double axle. So he tries to pull back so he doesn't lose it again. That's what I seen him do, is go like this, and then I heard the semi-medium and then launch.
Have you driven one of the trucks before?
Yeah, I've driven in a truck, and my dad has 30 years experience behind the semi.
Including doubles?
Yeah, including doubles and triples.
And you've ridden in these?
Yes,
yeah, okay.
My whole life, you know what I mean?
Your dad drove
so I know
too.
that when he was trying to pull it out, because he had the 2 people behind him who hit the brakes, he realized, okay, wait, hold on, there's 2 people behind me, I need to go back into my lane. When he tried to go back into his lane, that's when this rear trailer tried to keep going. And then he was like, oh no, I'm going to lose my rear trailer, You know, it's gonna jackknife on me.
And when you say jackknife, you mean like it's gonna tilt like this?
Yeah, the rear trailer's gonna try to come this way, and he's gonna keep going this way, and it's gonna jackknife.
Okay, so basically
You know
the
what I
trailer's
mean?
gonna swing around
Yeah,
like
and
that.
no, this way. Gonna keep trying to go this
Oh,
way.
okay. I got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
instead of that, he tried pulling his truck this way, and when it did, that rear trailer launched him straight across the freeway.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, I seen his front tires turning this way to kind of pull out so that he could go off to the side of the road if he was going to
in the
hit
medium.
anybody. Yeah, in the medium, yeah. Instead of launching him across the freeway, he didn't even believe that would happen.
Okay.
But it had to be because of the weight of the rear trailer launched him across. Because, I mean, or unless he lost control with his axles or something, but all I seen was the front right tire turned a little bit. You know,
Yeah,
like he was
maybe
trying to
just-
merge still.
Maybe
And
did you ever hear the truck try to brake?
I did hear burp, burp, burp of his rear tires.
So after the screeching, then you heard more
Yeah,
braking after that.
burp, burp, the rear tires bouncing because when they hit their Jake brake, the rear tires, when they are on a glance or trying to slam on their brakes, their rear tires will try to lock up, and they'll bounce a tiny bit to make like a barking noise.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? And that's when the tour bus was up here.
And
when the
in the
tour
fast
bus
lane?
was like, yeah, and then that semi hit the tour bus at the corner.
At the corner right here, right?
Yeah, like right here's a tour bus right here. Okay, here's a tour bus like that.
Yeah.
This semi came like this and went bam, and then they both went that way.
Right. Okay.
The momentum of him going like this and that tour bus going like this just kind of split. Like they just went just same
they-
way,
right off.
followed each other. Yeah, but instantaneous explosion.
Right.
As soon as they impacted, it was boom.
And then later on, there was another explosion.
Yeah,
too.
2 or 3 explosions.
Okay.
Like you heard boom, and then you can hear the tires, and then you can see the back of his trailer was even making some noises. You know, where every time it'd go boom, the flame would kind of come out of the trailer more. You know, it was pretty interesting. Which is what.
that was a diesel driver, right?
Yeah, he drove a diesel truck for 30 years, retired at it, and then went and started his own working for other people, you know. Even talking about it's got me all like,
Have you talked to your wife about it? And stuff?
yes, me and my wife we've conversated about it, yeah, a few times. She's the only one that's given me the ability to relax and settle down because it had me pretty worked up. I mean, it got my brother pretty bad too because when all those people were pouring out of the car, he ran over to the side of the road and he said he heard everything inside that tour bus. He heard all the people screaming, being burned alive. It was.
Outside, I saw a bunch of smoke, and it all just went down after that. I just walked out here, and he was screaming call 911 and stuff, so I figured I'd come out and see what's going on. And that was basically all that happened. And I went